We now take a look at our special report today. For 13 years running, New Vision brings together experts from various fields to give a quick and ready analysis of the finance minister's budget speech. New Vision TV has been broadcasting excerpts from the discussion that brought together civil society, finance sector players, educationalists, and the student community. Now, today's discussion will focus on how farmers can add value to their agricultural produce. Let's take a look.
I want to take you to page 20 of the speech. That's where he lays out the interventions for farmers. And for me, these are really big and grand schemes, but there are some things, I'll just make some comments from my point of view as a farmer. One of the things I have consistently, when I speak about farming publicly, I've consistently said, the president promised us 18 million hose. They have never been delivered. Why? You see, you were talking about mechanization of farming. The problem is, you can never mechanize weeding of a banana plantation. It has to be done by a hoe, whether it's cassava, because some of the nature of the agriculture is such that we will still need handheld hoes. Even if you commercialize, and we have a lot of labor. So not everybody is going to use a machine, because I bought machines for my farm, and I'm having trouble using them because of people failing to use them. Someone even tells you the motor is too hot for me to carry around on my back. So so those things are important. What kind of appropriate technology is being invested in? So on the big schemes like the irrigation and those big schemes, I think there's a good work going on there. In fact, for me, when I see floods in Kampala and in all these towns, I'm asking myself, why aren't we harvesting this water? Why aren't we creating dams?
Robert, to begin with, I'm not a big fan of the president buying hose. Not that we don't need them, we definitely need the hose, but I don't think we should spend that much money on hose. The people who need the hose should buy the hose. But I think we need to transform agriculture, a complete transformation, because it is very easy to double the productivity of a piece of land. Even in 1 year, you can actually double the output from a piece of land by doing just a few things.
How do we make sure that this investment that we are making in infrastructure, are we able to make other interventions to make sure it's paying back? I mean, we've just invested in a big fruit factory in Soroti. Are we making sure that there is produce coming out? How do you go the extra mile to make sure the farmers actually growing and the produce is coming? And
if we could use agriculture and just commercialize it, bring technology, widen the scale of production, and add value to our exports, that would be very key. We make sure that we move up in the value addition chain of our coffee especially. Yeah, would be somewhere. And I think that would help the budget. Thank you.
The student talked about value addition in agriculture. We need to address issues of agro-processing and post-harvesting challenges. You find that, yes, you have commercialized, the infrastructure is there, the road is there, but farmers do not know how to handle their produce from the garden up to the export. There are issues of pests, issues of poor handling. So to me, to have a complete value chain, we need to look at that. But also, you can't industrialize when the homes have no backbone in terms of, I would love to see a home with a cottage industry, that every home at their backyard, they are producing something. That every child who goes to school to learn English, mathematics, science, has a practical skill that can be reported back home, but all students in schools have no single skill.
Marcia said she wants to see more exports, but somebody has to finance those exports. Patrick has said he wants cottage industries, but when I go to borrow from Kenneth, first of all, his building alone is intimidating. So I mean, we face real financial challenges in this economy of ours. What would you have liked to see from your perspective?
If I'm going to help a small SME access finance, I need to first deal with the fundamentals. Are they actually in good shape to be able to produce sufficient milk for the market? What can I do as government to facilitate that production? What can I do to be able to create a market for their produce? So once those things start taking off the ground, then there will be reason for Kenneth to look at them as a viable proposition to give him money. In fact, you won't need to push Kenneth to go to this man. The moment he begins to see the cash flows going through, he'll be the first guy to knock on the door. Can I actually give you some money?
There are areas like agriculture that are taking 1 billion a year, yet those are people who can earn their 1 billion by themselves. They have a lot of land. They should commercialize as a ministry. Yes. When you look at the expenditure of 3.2 billion on education, a lot of it is going to tertiary and those higher institutions of learning, which have capacity to earn their own income. Okay. So if we do not task the heads of government institutions and sectors to run them on a business approach to generate their own revenue, then at one point we are going to choke on this debt.
It's a good thing that many more people are getting interested in commercial agriculture, but many of them are still doing it part-time. That's not enough. We have to have people who actually go there and do it properly. There is a lot of science in agriculture. Many of us are doing it part-time. If you've tried to do it part-time, you know what I'm talking about. You won't do it properly. That's the truth.